Hey, welcome. All my right thinkers, thanks for tuning in to check out your boy, P Farm. Thinking right out here in my lab. I just came up with a concept. I got to get this out of my mind when I got it on my chest, on my mind right now. So we're going to talk about from a spiritual philosopher's concept. Letting go, aka changing for the better, is the way to grow spiritually. Remember, it's all about the spiritual growth. Let's talk about it. Rightism, 25 rules of live by. Storytelling, story with a message. There's always a message in my stories for life. I give life lessons. You tune in and receiving them. I appreciate you. We got a good thing going. Let's do what we do. Right thinking mission is to enlighten, inspire, educate, and motivate you, the individual, to a higher spiritual level of enlightenment. Right thinking way of life through mental and spiritual discipline practice daily will help and guide you to obtain your goal of reaching spiritual enlightenment, aka know thyself. My mission that all right thinkers know thyself. If you're a right thinker, your goal is to know thyself. See where we're going with this? Let's get there together. So I asked the question, do you know you? You will when I'm through. It's rhetorical, but if you ain't got the answer for yourself, tune in. I got you. A person who knows not and knows not that they know not is foolish. Disregard them. Don't be them. A person who knows not and knows that they know not is simple, but you can teach them. That's why I do what I do for you. Appreciate you too. Stay tuned. I got more for you. A person who knows not and believe and think that they know is dangerous, avoid them. I do. A person who knows and knows not that they know is spiritually asleep, I can awaken them. I'm the spiritual alarm clock here to wake you up with knowledge of self. That's what I do for you. A person who knows and knows that they know is wise. Follow them. All these persons reside in you. Right thinkers, know thyself and to might be true. Right thinkers. In the words of a spiritual philosopher, aka P. Funk's philosophy, says, letting go, aka changing for the better, is the way to grow spiritually. To grow spiritually, you have to learn how to what? Let go of what? What don't serve you, aka be it your spiritual ego or personal people. Letting go to grow spiritual, no exceptions. You can't hold on to nothing. No, everything, let it go. Why? You don't need nothing but what you got here and what you got here. Let's talk about that spiritual growth. And spiritual growth is learning how to what? Let go of what doesn't serve you for the betterment of yourself. If something that you're doing ain't serving you, stop doing that. That shouldn't be that hard to understand. Discipline, discipline. You got to discipline yourself to know right from wrong, do what's right, hold yourself accountable. It comes at a time in every point in your life, there's gonna come a time in your life, personally, when it's all on you, when it's just you and no one else. That's when you find out what you're really about. Because why? It's just you and your higher self. And once you come to grips and understand that there is somebody other than yourself, the ego, then you can aspire to be what? Your best self, superseding the ego self. That's what you need to let go. A lot of people just, I can't let go of my identity. This is who I am. This is how I am. They fall in love with the ego and they can't let it go. And the ego was holding them back. Moving on, it's like that proverbial anchor, the anvil holding the balloon down. Cut the anvil and you soar. Moving on. That's the concept, and it works every time. What? Ignorance is the anvil. Okay? Once you get enlightened, then you can soar. All work out. I personally walk alone. Why? Physically, yeah, by myself. Don't need nobody. But spiritually, I ain't never by myself. Get the concept? If you think you're alone, if you think it's just you, you're ego driven. That means you don't know God. I know I have a higher self. That's why I aspire to impress. That's why I aspire to make sure I do what I need to do because he's always watching. And if I do things that's pleasing in his sight, he'll do something for me. You didn't know that? You can't be that. At this point, no, we ain't doing that right now. True spiritual growth is becoming conscious of what? Your higher self. And having your own, what? The phrase, footprints in the sand. He questioned God. God, you say you never leave me. You yeah, but I look back over my life, I see times where I only see one set of footprints. This is my little caveat. This ain't what God said, but if I was God, I said, did you check the shoe size? You wear size 8. Those are 12s. Need I say more? When you couldn't go, I carried you. Moving on. So don't question me ever. That's the whole point. When you come at somebody from after they tell you something, and they think you don't believe, and they think, so it's going to get a little offensive. I say, when the teacher's teaching, you learn. You deal with the other stuff on your own, but learn what's being taught first. Okay? Don't question the lessons. Change spiritually. Excuse me. Change for the better is a way that you grow spiritual. No other way. Nope. And change is inevitable. Everything changes in this physical world. Nothing stays the same. Time don't stay the same. Okay? So everything is vibrating at a certain frequency. We've been there at a lesson, but let's talk about change in your inner change, your inner engineering, your inner alchemy, your spiritual concepts. That's what I'm talking about in this all mental. When you growing spiritually, what's gonna happen? You ready? Your friends will become few, if any, at best. Trust me on that. Why? Because when you're starting to grow, you start to see people for who they are. And no matter who or what position they got, you can start not liking certain people. Why? Because they ain't your kind of people. Now you start to see them for who they are. That's why. It's easy to see other people's character flaws. Why? They exhibit them all the time. But a lot of us only see others, don't see our own. I got a lesson for you coming up with that, I think. I just made that up. Yeah, I came up with that idea. Everybody can see what's everybody's problem. If you open the third eye, you see your own problems. I see mine. That's why I work on mine. I don't worry about somebody else's. I can't change theirs. I can only change mine. That's a little quick tidbit for the next lesson. All right, let me get back to this one. But changing for the better is what we're here to do. We're going to change. But for the better, it's always good for you to what? Change. And that's why you what? Better yourself. That's changing. If you came out perfect, you would need to change. If you had everything you need to know, you would need to change. Until then, you need to work on what? Changing. Letting go of stuff that don't mean no good and getting to know the things that's going to mean you good, and you practice them. Spiritual growth, again, is all internal. It's all mental and internal spiritual. It's not a group thing. No. You're not going to have a group spiritual awakening. It's personal. It's one-on-one. You and God. You need to have that for yourself. Now you're secure in your what? Understanding of God. Your knowing of God. You ain't got to worry about, do you believe in God? Man, I know God. How you know God? You don't? How you doing? The question ain't gonna be how you know God. The question be how you don't know God. See how you flip it on them. And those who are ignorant of themselves, they get the Ralph Cameron. They can't express themselves. Why? They don't know. You can't tell somebody something you don't know. That's the difference. Okay. But all your spiritual, all you want to be, everybody's spiritual to the time to what? Show. All your so-called spiritual friends, your church-going friends, all them that you thought was your friends, once you find the truth out, you find out that none of them was ever your friend. That's a rude awakening. That's when you realize, but they lying to themselves, not you. Don't take it personal. Don't. Just understand them and deal with them accordingly. Okay, that's what you got to realize. When you become spiritually enlightened, you start looking around and seeing, yeah, just maintain your cool. But if you change, and when you change and you start living right, a lot of people, you're going to lose a lot of so-called friends. Trust me. That's when you find, when the rubber meets the road, you find out these all, like the Spartans, he had 300 real people, real men, knowing they're going to die. They knew when they got in that group, death is imminent for them. But they willingly, why? For the people. For the cause, something bigger than them. That's all. And they still being talked about to this day. Knowing that day, y'all could be remembered forever for this, because, we going down, but they remember this. Okay, reason and purpose. If you're gonna die for something, die for something. Okay, I ain't got a problem with that. I don't know if I'd be one of them, but they did what they had to do. I ain't got a problem with that. But within yourself, you should feel that way within yourself. Okay, I'm not giving in to nobody and nothing. Trust me. And what's this? When you're able to master this game called life, means you're in control. Leonidas ain't thought twice about what backing down, giving it. You never. At the last minute, he took it to the end. He took it to the end. I ain't with dying. Okay, I ain't with no. But if the cause is there and you gotta do what you gotta do, I'm up right up in the front line. Count me in the front row. Why? I'm with him. If you down, I'm down with you. Let's go. You gotta look back. Why? I'm right here. I ain't going nowhere. I'm in. My man said, I thought we were gonna fight 100,000 of Cyrus's guys. He said, yeah. He said, I thought you would have more warriors. He said, my man, what'd you do? He's a potter. What'd you do? I'm a farmer. What'd you do? I'm a broker. He said, Spartans, what do we do? Ahu, ahu, ahu. In case you didn't know, ahu means kill, kill, kill. That's what warriors come to do. And if you're going to kill, you looking to what? Die. Because you can get killed too. You can't get ass and leave yours home. So if you want death, you got to bring yours. So again, I like that mentality. I ain't got no problem with that. I compete with the best of them. Mentally, physically, they make a difference to me. I'm holding my own. I'm like Leonidas when it comes to that. I'm 100%. You know that? You should have watched what your words you're going to say next to either. No, my man. You come here, disrespect my queen, talking about this, that, and the third. You should have chosen your words wisely. Why? This is Sparta. Kick the hell out. I love that part. That just freaks me out. Because when the guy did, he got the best of you. And no, you're responsible for what come out of your mouth too. Okay, in Sparta, they proved that. All right, but to master this game called life, you got to get control of this. You got to have mastery of this. Self-mastery, again, is the goal. When that means you knowing who and what to let go and when the time to let them go and move on in your life. Ain't nothing holding me back. No, I will cut ties with your ass in a heartbeat. Okay, I'm a Mason. I got my cable toe, and I don't let my strength. If it's time to choke me, you got to go. I'm not going to be inconvenienced by somebody else. Simple. That's mastery. So again, self-mastery. This is going to be the whole concept. Self-mastery are what? Friendless. Why? Because we are independent and we don't need friends. Certain people, just your friend, go what? They can use you. Or you need something from them. I don't need nothing from none of y'all. That's why I ain't got no friends. Why? I don't need nothing from you. We can't be friends on that strength, and we ain't got to be friends. Moving on. I'm not a needy dude. And I ain't that dude that's gonna help you out either. So don't like I said, don't infringe on me. So when I go to bed at night, I leave my phone in my office. So I don't know. I can't be your emergency call. Why? I ain't gonna answer the phone. It's in my office. So I'm gonna call my no. You call me in the morning when the sun is up. Yeah, I'm there. Before then, nah. But again, self-mastery. My discipline lets me know certain things I'm just not doing. I don't give a damn what you do. Well, I gotta have my phone just in case. I don't give a damn. Again, I ain't asking you. I'm telling you what I don't do. Moving on. Self-mastery, again, and for all you self-masters who in training, my right thinkers, that means those who are what? Practice what they learn daily to what? Make the change for the better within themselves. That's what the right thing is. A self-mastery in training. That's what you're doing. Preparing yourself to mastery. Self-mastery is knowing when to let go of what? One's ego self, not other stuff, internal stuff. Your ego self with what? With true knowledge of self. If you don't know you, you need to get knowledge of you. And things you can do that. I'm here to help you with that daily. So if you ain't got knowledge of self, that's on you. I'm here to help you. So get on the good foot. I'm here. But if you have to, first of all, you have to be able and willing to what? Let go of the things that what? Don't serve you in order for you to be able to change you. If you still hold on to old stuff, you can't bring in the new stuff. That's like going to the church with your cup full. I can't give you nothing. Well, I'll pour half of it out. Okay, you still ain't gonna get half. Empty the cup. Turn that cup over now. Let's start filling it with something that you can use. righteous information, knowledge of self. That's what I give you daily. So don't come here with your cup half full or whatever. Come with an empty one. I'll fill it up for you. Moving on. If your ego, if you are ego driven, and a lot of us are, and unconscious of that fact, so that's not here there. But ego driven people, what? They living for themselves. Now the question is that you? I don't even dribble. If you living for yourself, if you're forsaken, aka using everyone else, you're ego driven. That was my old man, Duda. All ego, pure, unadulterated ego. And to go top it off, he was a Leo. Oh, yeah, that makes a big deal. You ain't never met a shy Leo. I haven't. they it's all about them. Okay, in the zodiac company, Leos is the heart, so they braggadocious. Every zodiac plays a role in your part of your body, your life. Been done that lesson already, but again, this is changing for the better to become what? A master of oneself. I used to live by what? My ego. I was ego driven, drug dealer, running around. Yeah, I was young and dumb, okay? But that was then. This is now. Now I'm a little older, a little more white hair, but a lot more wiser. Why? I know myself. That's wisdom beyond compare. When you get self-knowledge, you reach the epitome of what? Knowledge that you need to have. What? For yourself. Why? At Judgment Day, you'll be glad you did. You'll thank me come Judgment Day if you practice my rules and my philosophy. You'll see. I hate it. I hated giving up that life. But 3.5 years in prison, I don't want no more of that. I don't want no parts. It wasn't good. Hell yeah, it was great. I loved it. But the consequences of that I didn't like. If one thing you doing, if it ain't benefiting you, you should not do it. When I got in prison over 40 years ago, I was not going down when they put the rat in the maze, okay? They put a spot where they put the cheese. They got a spot where they got the shot. If he walked down the maze and he walked that road that he get shot by, he's not going to go down that road again. Why? He already know what's there. He got more sense than human beings. Mostly why? Because in his mind, I know what that is. He got enough wherewithal not to do it. And that's the mice. Okay? And their brains ain't but so big. Okay? But they can figure that out. So humans, we keep doing the same thing over and over. Yeah, that's insanity. That's insanity. That's what it is. But with the ego in charge, you don't see it that way. The ego see it as the self-grandizement, self-fulfillment. Everything is for the egos but self. So it don't see the flaws in itself. Okay? So I hate it giving up that lifestyle. But due to consequences, I had no problem with it. Okay? Living it, I had no problem giving up. But now that I'm better for it. Why? I ain't got to look over my shoulder. I ain't got to worry about going back to prison. I got a whole lot of stuff that I don't have to worry about. That's why. And when you live in that life, there's a whole lot of stuff that comes with that. And y'all keep glorifying the OGs. Y'all keep glorifying the bad guy. And you wonder why they keep coming out. You keep nurturing them every time a young person is influenced by that. We know the intent ain't that, but I'm a victim of the same thing. Why? My environment. I saw hustlers and I wanted to be a hustler. So that's why. But when we start showing them in the environment that we live in, drug dealing is a bad thing. Doing those things is wrong. Nobody told me that. Moving on. All right. But if you're not willing to be able to give up that ego self, that that stuff that don't work, you will never change yourself or you'll never know yourself. Why? You too busy stuck on stupid. Some of us will die that way. Okay, I know that too. Sometimes it's not only you, your ego self, but sometimes you had to let go of some people physically also. It ain't always just you. If somebody don't mean you no good, somebody ain't really with you, toxic, draining, stay away from them. Why be around them? Simple. I don't argue, fuss, or fight. Do none of that. Why? I just avoid it. It's easier to avoid it. If we ain't getting along, why we even got to go through all of that? That's when wisdom comes in there. I used to attack situations a little different. Now, I got a whole different strategy. Wrapping it up, again, I appreciate you tuning in. If you're willing to let go of that old guy or the old girl, then you can make room for the new person. But if you still walk around with that cup, just, well, I gotta keep something. No. Turn it over. Turn it over. So everything in this physical world and everyone will change. Trust me. But your spirit will remain the same, untouched, unfazed by everything that's going on around it until what? It become conscious. That's what your job is to do. It ain't to know you, it's to you to know it. It's there for you. It's hidden where inside you. We've been telling you that for years. Let me wrap this up again before I go another tangent. But we changed from babies, from embryo, from a sperm, from that little, into what? Human beings. That's the process. And that's called change. We go from babies to adults. So we all change naturally, but not always what? Mentally and spiritually. That's the difference. If you remain ignorant, you're going to come back again, reincarnated. Why? Because the soul don't die. The consciousness in the physical body does. Your job is to get your consciousness connected with your spirit, your soul, your heart, a.k.a. heart, mind, coherence. They should be working as one. We change. Again, we change what? Our minds, our religions, mates, sex. I can go on and on, etc. But again, if you understand this, the soul remains the same. It's indifferent to whatever going on. You know that? It's along for the ride, so to speak. But when it get conscious, ding, 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 ding. Now it know what? We going home. Oh, we going home. I'm good to go. Why? Somebody done woke me up. They done figured this thing out. And now, back to the Father. That's the concept. I'm just saying. That's one of my philosophical concepts. Sorry about that. But moving on. Okay. If your soul is not enlightened, meaning you ain't enlightened, it's going what? Coming back? Why? Because it's not conscious. It can't go home. Where's home? It don't know. Knowing thyself and knowing how to get home. Therein lies the problem for those who what? Don't know. Why? Your spirit can't go home without being conscious of itself. Our souls, aka spirits, aka the heart, it needs to become conscious. It needs to be connected to the other half. It's only half of what it needs to be. The opposite of the spirit is consciousness. And that's what we come in at. It's up to us to what? Find our what? Conscious self. Know thyself. Through what? Righteous living, studying, and practicing what you learn and implement it. And when it comes time, you have all the things you need to what? Pass that test in life. The feather of Maya, your heart being pure from working and living in God's blessings. While you're doing it, you know you're on the right track. Why? You're being like Crumbsy. He keep blessing me. I'm gonna keep coming. Every time I'm gonna keep coming. If the gravy train, all you gotta do, and God got one too. It's called blessings, living right. You can follow God's gravy train and get them pellets every day. Get them blessings for yourself every day. All you gotta do is live right. I've been trying to tell you that for the longest. Wrapping it up again. Hope you finally get the message. All you gotta do is practice. Damn the message. Practice it and find out for yourself. The soul is God. Consciousness is man. We come together as being one with God, becoming conscious. That's why the Sphinx is the body of a lion and the head of a man. Why? Men, human beings, are becoming conscious to know who they are. God's in the flesh. Let's wrap it up with, that's called my philosophy, the heart, mind, coherence. To know thyself is the ultimate spiritual growth. That's the purpose of our spiritual beings having this human experience, is to know thyself. Hope you got the message. Hope you put it to use and use it. Find out for yourself. It's the truth. In closing, right thinkers, may you all live to be 100. Me, 100 miles a day. So I know that my right thinkers who fully understand that letting go and changing for the better is spiritual growth in its best way. I'm out. Thank you.